Why does this look familiar? Is this a real place? Did you dream this? Did we all dream this? In the last few years, there has been an explosive interest in images like these. Why is this? What are these images? And why are they as comforting as they are unnerving? We haven't been there, but these places feel hauntingly familiar. It's a memory we have, but it is a memory that is not ours. Anemoia is the nostalgia for a time one has never known. It is a powerful and strange emotion. For Gen Z, anemoia often manifests as a deep yearning for the late 20th century. Despite not having consciously lived through it, many feel a sense of loss for that era. This sensation is beyond just aesthetics and cultural trends. It touches on something existential. Looking in the rearview mirror of history, the late 80s and the 90s feel like a more optimistic time. The United States seemed to be at a cultural and economic high point. There was a collective sense that the future was bright and that humanity was progressing in a meaningful way. It's a cringe cliche to say life was better back in my day. I had a real childhood. But we're not even talking about childhoods. We're talking about something that precedes that. The romanticization of the decade before one's birth is common across generations. It's when the world feels magical before reality sets in. As someone born in the late 90s, I can most accurately speak for Gen Z. Those who have actually lived through the decades of the 80s and 90s may very well say that those who have never lived through these decades will put this era on a pedestal. The idea of the 80s and 90s offers a kind of imagined sanctuary before the algorithms started to shape our every thought. It's a vision of analog warmth, human connection, mall culture, and the final chapters of a linear reality. This is reflective of our obsession with images of liminal spaces.
Alright, hey, shalom, 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 shalom. First, I'm gonna give honors to, gonna face the east. Alright, first, I'm gonna give honors to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakah, Kadash. Double honors to the elders apostles of Great Millstone. Peace and salutations to all my fellow Akim Akwat out there that follow Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai with truth and sincerity. I like to say shalom. This is your brother Ashimaya with another video, and I was just watching something on YouTube that really caught my attention, and this video is kind of Satan, man. Basically, it says why Gen Z misses a time they never knew, and you know what's funny? I have experienced anemoia certain times, a few parts, of this journey in the truth, and even some parts of my life. I mean, well, I would say since 2020, but I'm just going Shalaki. I'm on my walk, so if I'm all over the place, Shalaki. But why do Gen Z experience anemoia on a high rate? And I'm just going to cut to the chase because the mirth is gone. Okay, the mirth is gone. And this dude right here broke it down in a better way that I can fully understand, because I've had cases of anemoia of imagining or viewing things of a time before I was even born. And the reason why Gen Z has this because, and first off, before I continue, first I'm gonna give double honors to the elders apostles, Great Millstone, and the elect that are scattered abroad. Okay, double honors to the elders and apostles of GMS, Great Millstone. But back to what I was saying, the reason why Gen Z can't stop thinking about the early 2000s, the 90s and the 80s, and even millennials, because like I said, the mirth is gone, and that is biblical prophecy. Okay, and what he pointed out in this video was actually a lot of right points, like a lot of points that make sense. Growing up, everything was mirthful, everything was magical, everything had a spark to it, everything had something that will, how can I say it? put a smile on your face, man. Everything felt alive, Even Jake, even Jake in captivity, even when Jake was going through hell, everything had a spirit to it. Okay, even every decade, Elder Shazak, the elder brother down in Mississippi, he made a very good point. He said that every decade had its own spirit. All right, the 1950s had the Atomic Family, where the dad wearing a suit and tie, and the little girl playing with her doll, and the boy want to play outside with his puppy, with his dog. All right, the wife cooks and clean. Now go to the 60s. Okay, every decade had a spirit. Now in the 70s, everybody got afros and colorful suits and dresses on. Now the 80s, okay, vaporwave music and Michael Jackson, okay, the Jackson 5 and Thriller and Michael Jordan. You know what I'm saying? I can't think of many of the 80s, but you know what I'm saying. But you get what I'm saying. And down to the 90s, okay, hip hop started to become more popular. Okay, more what's it called? Rhythmic, if that's the term I'm looking for. And down to the 2000s. Okay, every decade had some form of improvement, had its own personality, it had its own change, its own character, its own vibrant color. What's the term? Aesthetic. Now we're in 2025. There's no more originality. There's no more form of friendship. There's no more form of or relationship or form of curiosity. There's no more things to explore. Okay, there was always something new when you was growing up in the early 2000s, and 90s, and 80s. Why is that? Why do people always want to play those old decades of music? Okay, why do people like watching old movies? Why do people love dressing up like they from 1992? Okay, why are people bringing back old trends? Because those eras had mirth. Okay, like the dude said. Let me go back real quick. It was a magical time. It was a very vibrant time.
Be at a of law. It is a powerful and strange emotion. Familiar. It's a memory we have. Did you dream this? They are unnerving. We haven't been there, but these places feel hauntingly familiar. It's a memory.
Right, man. When you see what he shows you, this is what we saw growing up. These spaces, these liminal spaces of colorful backgrounds, of playgrounds and skating rings and arcades. Now that all that is done. Even malls. Okay, malls when we were growing up was a very, very mirthful place, man. I was born in 2003, and when you go to the mall, man, that was a whole adventure. When your parents get paid, you and your siblings go to the mall, that was an adventure, man. Okay, it was popular, it was vibrant, everything was clean. Even traveling, even going on vacations to other cities and places like that was on a whole nother level. Every movie that was coming out had its own originality, creativity. That's what it was. It was the reason why those decades were so popular, not just because of economic growth and just improvement, but it was great creativity and optimism. People had great optimism of the future. Okay. Yeah, everything had color, man. Everything had vibrant color. You know what I'm saying? Even these fast food places, every fast food place had its own character, its own personality. And now, like for example, McDonald's. All right, McDonald's had the red and yellow. Ronald McDonald, hamburger thief. I remember that. McDonald cups. You used to get toys with your toys with the Happy Meal. Okay, you go to Burger King, get a little crown. You know what I'm saying? You go to Wendy's. I remember Wendy's used to be yellow. They franchise used to be yellow. All right, and the reason why I'm bringing this up because this place is done, man. America, this world that we know is finished. That's why look at those franchises now. Now it's millennialism. That's why when you go to these places like McDonald's or Dunkin' Donuts or these high franchises of corporations and places like that, these iconic places, they all have that millennial, boring, lifeless architecture because this place is losing its mirth, it's losing its creativity. That's why the movie industry is keep on making remakes, sequels. Only a few movies that come out are actually good, but the rest are just complete bullshit. Because everybody's tired of seeing the same movie. Okay? And, only the few movies that are actually good this year, is Superman, Fantastic Four, and what's that movie, Sinners. And this new joint on Netflix, K-pop Demon Hunter. But all these movies that's coming out are absolute trash. They're not gathering the attention like they once were. Okay? Hold on, I'll cross the street real quick. But that's a sign that this place is crumbling.
Why is this? What are these images? And why are they as comforting as they are unnerving? We haven't been there, but these places feel hauntingly familiar. It's a memory we have, but it is a memory that is not ours. Anemoia is the nostalgia for a time one has never known. It is a powerful and strange emotion. For Gen Z, anemoia often manifests as a deep yearning for the late 20th century. Despite not having consciously lived through it, many feel a sense of loss for that era. This sensation is beyond just aesthetics and cultural trends. It touches on something existential. Looking in the rearview mirror of history, the late 80s and the 90s feel like a more optimistic time. The United States seemed to be at a cultural and economic high point. There was a collective sense that the future was bright and that humanity was progressing in a meaningful way. It's a cringe cliche to say life was better back in my day.
And it was. Even the apostles speak of that. Even the apostles speak of how things were better back in their days, man. Shit, and I was born in 2003. The early 2000s, man, was something magical, especially when you're a kid in America, you know what I'm saying? You wake up Saturday cartoons, you know what I'm saying? At nighttime, play video games and play outside, play sports, play games on the computer. That's the thing. That's another thing. Every decade had a form of not just creativity, but technological innovation. Okay. Now, back, growing up, we didn't have these fucking transactions and you got to pay an extra dollar just to get this and that. Okay. Now in 2025, they got transactions. Every game you want to play, you got to pay double just to play it, man. Or get an extra fucking skin that's useless. Okay. And then there's hyperinflations. There's no form of technological innovation except AI. Okay. ChatGPT. Okay. Twitter got known as X got something called Grok. 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 Okay. So the only thing that's advancing is AI. Everything else is deteriorating. So I'm gonna grab some scriptures real quick. Shalaki for me rambling. But what he pointed out was actually good points, man. Okay. Everything were better growing up because the mirth was at its highest point. Sports was better, food was better. All right, advertisements, the aesthetics of cities and places that you travel was better. The architecture was better. The infrastructure of cities were better. Now things are backwards. Okay. Everything is backwards. Social media has when social media first came out, like Instagram, it was kind of, I'm gonna be honest with you, Instagram when it first came out, it was innocent. Like, people was just posting, fun things. But now over time, it just became like a sex app. I remember when Instagram was first popping, people was just posting dog posts, family pictures and stuff like that. Now in 2025, you go on Instagram, it's a chick shaking her ass, man. Is that's not even on your what's the term I'm looking for? Your timeline. Okay, your For You page. You know, but this place is deteriorating. All right, Esau knows that his kingdom is deteriorating, and the mirth of this place is gone. So this is Isaiah 24. Shalaki, I'm also walking while doing this lesson. All right, this is Isaiah 24, and I'm gonna start at 7. The new wine mourneth, the vine languish, all the merry-hearted do sigh. Right, people that like to drink, like to party and celebrate, cookouts and stuff like that. All that is done. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't have the same vibration as it did when you was growing up, when the 80s and 90s and 2000s, man. Okay. There's no form of cultural innovation, no form of fashion innovation. When we was growing up in the early 2000s, man, rappers was making all types of trends. Now, niggas are just wearing tight jeans and fucking designer shirts, man. In 2025. Or a Pooh Shiesty mask. Alright, the average chick got fucking long eyelashes and nails and shit. The average chick in Babylon look like a fucking stripper, man. Because this place is devolving, it's rotten. But don't think this is the end. Jacob's world is about to begin. And the kingdom of Israel, the kingdom of heaven is going to be 100 million times better than the 80s and the 90s and 2000s, man. It's going to be way better than any form of mirth that Babylon can produce. It says 8. The mirth of tabrets ceaseth, the noise of them that rejoice endeth. The joy of the harp ceaseth, right? Okay, there's nothing new to celebrate for. You got people that celebrating for their sports team. But all that shit is orchestrated. All your fucking favorite sports team is all orchestrated by Esau Edom. It's a script. Okay? Yeah, movies and all that, that's all done too, man. I'm going down to 9. I mean, Salaki 11. Sorry, Salaki. I'm just going to go to 9. It says, they shall not drink wine with a song. Strong drink shall be bitter to them that drink it. Right. All right. Back in the day, you used to go to the bars and the club, the party, and have a good time. Now you go to a club, you be in the club like, man, what the fuck? Why am I here? Because everybody's fucking drunk or depressed, man. Or just lifeless souls, man. You're in a room full of lifeless souls. This is 10. The city of confusion is broken down. Every house is shut up and no man may come within. Right, the city of confusion is America. Because this place is a city of confusion. Alright, you got men walking out the fucking house wearing fucking dresses. And women walking out the house think they fucking men. Alright, that's confusion. 11. There is a crying for wine in the street. All joy is darkened. The mirth of the land is gone. So right, the mirth of America is completely done, man. There's no new next era of something better, a brand new change, a brand new future. No, man. And these people don't even see the future, man. There's no more optimism in America. There's no more optimism in America. Okay? When people don't have no vision of the future, they perish. Shalaki. Yep, this Proverbs 29 and 18. But there is no vision, the people perish. But he that keepeth the law, happy he is. Right. Shalaki, I'm near a highway. I'm about to end this video. But hey, man, these people don't have no vision for the future. And they don't have to perish alongside with Babylon the Great. But the elect are going to be beamed up into chariots, man. Salvation and everything we believe, man. Alright, the mirth of Babylon is done. But hey, don't think this is the end. Hey, in the kingdom, we about to experience unimaginable, otherworldly, unexplainable mirth, man. And joy and happiness. Alright, so with that, call all Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai Ba'Shem Rakah Kadash. Shalom.